find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We are back here for season 3 of the Sunday Drive Racing League, and we're live from Catalonia in Spain. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth once more by the Mr. One and only Dean Biggles here this evening as well. As you can see on your screen, we are got about 10 minutes of qualifying at the moment, and we're currently running with Sego Mar, who is out in front here as well. Now, what is the rules for season 3? Teams of up to 3 drivers, any classifications with Pro and AM's best results in either driver classification counts towards team points. Worst points for the season's dropped from driver overall results. Open car choice within the team. So now what we do is look into some of the teams. We've got Animal Star with Rail Tova, Alex Shen and Tony Rodriguez, Barwell Motorsport with Chris Namak, Circuit Sprint with Stubbs Hillo and Jake Wishmeyer, Corner Free Motorsports, Mario Hinojes, Christopher Wong is Edgar Lou Racing, Colin McCarthy is in Fast Sideways with Rick Romano, Gina Racing with Arthur Chu, Half Send Joe Flannery, Kevin and Guyan Racing, Charles Ho, Rich Lee and Michael Gilbert, and that is also Pro and AMs split by the colours on your screen that you can see at this moment in time. Pros are in white, AMs are in red. Okay, so welcome in Joseph, Alex and Eric. Thank you so much for joining us here currently as well. It's going to be an interesting one. There's more drivers in different teams, of course. We've got 26 drivers in track. Crash Teams Auto with Elliot Shunk, Oil Burners Anonymous with Joe Drain, Sharknado with Eric Chu, Sego Mar and Alex Lee. Jaime Mendoza is in TBD, which obviously to be determined, so unless he hasn't actually got his team. Team Last Place with Cameron Fong, Team Mystery Flavor, JB Alcabar and Matt O'Dore, the Dongy Experience, Eric Dong, Jason Dong and Rob Dong. Well, that's not going to be too hard for me and Biggles to get over on that one. U-Haul Racing with Nick Showalter, Jake Hallinan and Wendy's with Juan Namak. 15 minutes of qualifying, 60-minute race, 1 mandatory tyre change, pit window open, refueling allowed, weather is cloudy with a low chance of rain. Temperatures will be warm with a high of 33 degrees and a low of 23 degrees. So there you go. Qualifying, as you can see, is in the dark. That is all the rules and regs and everything else for this season. And let's bring in Mr. Dean Biggles into the booth. Good evening for you. Good morning for me, sir. How are you?
Yes, James, good evening. Hola, ¿cómo estás, my friend? Welcome to España. Welcome to Barcelona. And, the Gladiators back out there for a new season here at the Catalunya Ring and providing us with another round of battling. This track, of course, is generally, I know from the Formula 1 perspective, is a lot of tyre wear is high, meaning that pit stops are more frequent. But as you said, there's only one pit stop that is required. But the circuit's layout, it rewards you with a solid combination of power, handling, and aerodynamics in the majority of the race. There's usually one from the front row. I'm not sure how it pans out, of course, for these beasts, the GTs, but usually that's what I go for the Formula 1 thing. Of course, this track is part of the 1992 Olympic Games, and the track was finished just a year ahead of that schedule, with Mr. Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna going on to wheel banging memorable moments that have shaped this circuit's rich history. But we are here, of course, the car's a little bit slower, but certainly fun. And you don't see cars go around this track at night time very often, as you mentioned too, because it's not illuminated. They do have those headlights.
Yeah, but whether or not they do a lot, that's going to be a different question altogether, isn't it? Let's look at that in a bigger picture. They don't really do a lot. You can't full beam them like you can in the car here either. So, I think the fact that we haven't moved away from that 60-minute race, and the qualifying and everything else as well. It's great that we got more drivers on the grid. We got 26 here this evening, so this league has obviously gone up from what we had last season as well. Team changes, car changes, we've seen it all. We've lost Biggles. We've lost a car with a livery that we loved here as well. Mr. Tony Rodriguez and Juan Namak no longer in the same team. They haven't got the same livery as they had last season. Tony swapped over to the BMW. He's not even in the Mercedes anymore. We haven't got McMurks. I'm not happy about that.
James is not happy. That's it.
That's it.
Race cancelled.
Yep.
Let's all pack it all up and head home.
Yeah, I'm not impressed whatsoever. Evening, fellas. Should be a fun night drive. Yeah, it should be here as well, says Conway Critty. Thank you so much for joining us. As we can see, Tony's livery in the yellow and red is obviously it's not too bright, but due to the fact that obviously it's dark. We've still got the Nicolas Cage on Eric Dong, Rob Dong's car as well. So Nicolas Cage has returned once again this season. We know how prominent in Fear the Cage and Cage the Fear, I think it was last season as well with these guys. I don't know why they love the Nicolas Cage thing. I don't know where it come from or how it started. I can't remember all the way back into season 1, to be honest. But yeah, we've still got Fear the Cage, but we've lost the McMurks, Biggles. What are we going to do now?
You can't get rid of the cage, my friend.
No.
Nicholas is everywhere. Still going. I'm quite sure his acting career has really taken off too much these days, but the man is still planted on the side of some of those cars, as you'd mentioned.
Yeah, I'm not happy. I'm not happy.
Any particular surprises you're looking for this season there, James, coming off the bat first round?
Well, we've obviously got the defending champion from Tony from last season. We know Tony's quick. He's generally speedy as he goes along as well. I'm interested to see some of how the new drivers get on. The likes of Jake Wishmeyer as well, Stubbs Hillo, Mario Hinoges, all the new ones. I think bringing in new drivers into a series is always challenging for them because they haven't raced against some of the old guard that we know of, the likes of Eric Chu, Sego Ma, Tony Rodriguez, Eric Dong as well. The fact that we've got a free Dong team of Eric, Rob and Jason, that's going to be exciting for us as well because obviously, they're all obviously related. So it's going to be bringing an exciting one in here as well. And I think that's the thing of the fact that the driver count has improved and has increased. But it's how now they all race together because you're not familiar with how these drivers race. You might have done a few practice sessions with them, but in a race situation, league situation like we're in, we're not entirely sure how this is going to turn out. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they get on here as well with this 60-minute feature that we've got coming up in about 2.5 minutes. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I think it's going to be incredible to watch, as it always is. We've seen some great racing here from the Sunday Drive Racing League, which does take place on a Monday. So, we can't really help that one. But it's going to be exciting, I think. And, I think we're in for a treat.
For sure. And it's the first race of the season, too, at the moment, season 3. So you want to jump out the gate and you want to set a good statement to everybody else saying, okay, here I am. I'm going to be a Max Verstappen this season, perhaps, and try to win every single race. It's a possibility. Wouldn't that be a statement to set? But then again, these machines are relatively equal, so to do that one, you're going to have to do it purely on ridiculous skill, not just on the machine that you're in.
Yeah, I think that's the thing here as well. And what have we got coming up? Well, we've got Barcelona, then we're off to Valencia, Imola, Zolder, Hungaroring, and then the season finale at Kota for double points. So you can get yourself involved if you want to as well. Links down in the description below. Come and join in with some ACC fun here currently at the moment. We've got car swaps as well. I think that's going to be an interesting one. Tony Rodriguez has obviously gone from the Merc into the BMW. Eric Chu's in the McLaren. Sego Mars in the McLaren. The Lamborghini is here as well. I don't think we saw any of the Lamborghinis last season. I think that could be an exciting one to keep an eye out for here as well. So car swaps, driver swaps, team swaps, it's all going off currently at the moment within the Sunday Drive Racing. We've got new liveries, new drivers. Well, what more can we ask for? What a season opener it's going to be.
And we are underway in the qualifying session, just about to finish there too, James. So looking like, well, good mixture of cars too at the moment. The McLarens are up there, Lamborghinis, the BMWs, the Ferrari. Just having a look, Lexus down there. Just having a look at the spread of field too, as in what other cars people are electing. We've got the one Audi, James. That's pretty much it. Good field too, James. What have we got? 25 or so drivers. 25 now,
yeah. I thought we had 26 at one point. Maybe we've lost a driver there as well. Wait, what? U-Haul team, let's go 49. And that's with Jake Hallonen is in that team as well, with Nick Showalter. So these guys in U-Haul, which I believe is a removal company in America, am I right?
Yes, it is. It's, you just hire a little truck or a trailer, whatever like that, if you want to move around the States. Do it yourself, cheaper. Use U-Haul.
Well, we do that over in the UK, but we normally hire trucks of some sort. And J-Siv, wait, what? Question mark. That's it. End of. Well, thank you so much for that. But here we are. We're coming now at the end of qualifying before we go into this 60-minute race here as well. So let's get ready for some action, for some racing, for incredible racing here, and it's looking like Sego Mar on a 1:43.902 is topping the timing screen on the left-hand side, as you can see there as well. We do use ACC TV. Can go and check them out again down in the links below. There is also a referral link as well if you want to have a try of ACC Drive, which is a driver program, which is handy for if you're in an endurance event. You can use ACC Drive for that one, so definitely go and check that out as well. That will be absolutely amazing here once more. But as you can see, that is the end of qualifying. Everybody has pretty much finished on their lap times that they are doing at this moment in time, and we will bring you up the qualifying results very, very shortly. And let's have a look. It is Sego Ma at the top of the timing screen with Eric Chu in second, Eric Dong third, Tony Rodriguez fourth. Then we've got Rob Dong, Alex Shen, Nick Showalter, Jason Dong, Joe Flannery, Jake Hanlon, Charles Ho, Arthur Chu, Rich Lee, JB Alcabar, Matt Odor, JB Alcabar, Michael Gilbert, and then we've got Jake Wishmeyer, Stubbs Hillo is behind that as well. Chris Namak, Mario Hinoges, Rael Tova, Christopher Wong, Juwon Namak, Cameron Fong, Jaime Mendoza, and Joe Drain are the last ones on your screen there. So get ready for these cars now, as we will be going on to that pace lap that we've had. Good times in practice, Biggles. There's about a second between pole and ninth as well. That's going to bring in a lot of drivers into this one, and one that I think could be very, very exciting for us. How is this going to go, Biggles? How is this going to take place? What do we think is going to happen?
They'll certainly be very, very nervous, James, because it's the first race of the season, you know, even though you're coming off, you know, the previous season, the drivers are familiar, they put some practice in and things like that. But it's a different ballgame, isn't it, when everybody's lined up on that grid and they're ready to put in as many laps as they possibly can, of course, for the 60-minute race with the mandatory pit stop that's going to be lurking in their minds, when they're going to do that, how they're going to do that within the pit window times, of course. You're refueling. Are you going to be pushing it to refuel? We're going to run a lighter car. Weather, of course, that's not going to be that much of a play too much, because it's a low chance of rain, but still that's always something that lurks around there. So yeah, all these elements right now, James, would be going through these drivers' minds for the first race of this season.
Yeah, definitely as well, and we will be looking out for it. Let's have a look at the grid for this race here as well. It is Sego Ma and Eric Chu. Then we've got Eric Dong. Tony Rodriguez is in fourth in that BMW liveried car. And we've got Rob Dong. Alex Shen is in sixth place there with Nick Showalter. Jason Dong in eighth. Joe Flannery in ninth. Jake Hanlon in 10th. Charles Ho is in 11th with Arthur Chu in a very brightly coloured Lambo there. Rich Lee in 13th. Matt Odor in 14th with free candy livery, nice. JB Alcabar in 15th. Michael Gilbert in 16th. Jake Wishmeyer in 17th with Stubbs Hillo also. Chris Namak in 19th place, Mario Hinoges in 20th, Rael Tova in 21st, Christopher Wong in 22nd, Juwon Namak in 23rd, Cameron Fong in 24th, Jaime Mendoza 25th, and Joe Drain is the last car on the grid in 26th place. So that is your grid going forward for this one. Well, there we go. 26 cars on track. We have got that pace. Well, is it a pace lap? It's not really a pace lap. They're coming off turn 12 at the moment. So it will be around turn 12, the 13, chicane of 14, 15, and then we're in to 16 there as well. What's up with the free candy car? Well, I'm not really sure on that one, to be honest. Biggles, any ideas?
Don't take free candy from a car. You should know that. Stranger danger out there. I'm not sure what's up with the free candy.
I don't really know. Matt O'Donnell.
I'm just loading in all the liveries myself, so I should be fine. I'm still looking at your pictures there, James, but yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what's up with that.
I don't know. It looks very bizarre in the two BMWs for Matt O'Donnell and JB Alcabar there, currently as well. So interesting liveries this season as well. Sego Ma and Eric Chu from the Sharknado team, with Alex Lee also in the same team there as well. It doesn't look like we've actually got Alex Lee on the grid currently, which is a bit of a shame, but let's see how these guys get on. Eric Dong, of course, in the famous Nicolas Cage. There is Tony Rodriguez's livery. Biggles' face is on the side once more and the JPB logo. So there we go. We're still on the car, Biggles, just not in the muck.
Fair enough. Like that.
Yeah, I like that as well. Right, here we go now. And we will have to have a mandatory pit stop of 1. We are coming now. Just coming off the final corner here, and Sego Ma, Eric Chu, Eric Dong, Tony Rodriguez out in front. McLaren, Lambo, BMW. Let's see how this is going to go for the opening race of the season. We are going to be underway very, very shortly. We are green there as well, and it is Sego Ma, Eric Dong in second. Currently jumped Eric Chu going down into turn 1. How is this all going to pan out as they all filter through? Are they going to make it through successfully? And it is Sego Ma, Eric Chu jumps Eric Dong once more as well. Tony Rodriguez, Alex Shen, no real dramas at the back. Matt O'Dore got a little bit caught up there as well. And there was a little bit of contact further back here as well. Jason Dong, Rob Dong, Jake Flannery, Nick Showalter all fighting it out as well here on track currently at the moment on this opening lap, as these guys are heading round turn 4 before they go round into the steep left-hander of 5. Everybody seems to have got away a little bit more cleanly there, Biggles, as we can see on screen now with Jason Dong fighting it out with Nick Showalter.
Yeah, good to see. Good clean away from everybody. Clean race start, as they are aware that they've got a long time to go, 60 minutes, of course. And this is only the first lap, so they're not risking it for the biscuit. But then again, I spoke to soon. It looks like one of the cars, as you see on the A86 car, might have had a bit of a spinneroo, but that's only one. They're making their way into the third sector right now, to the tricky technical part of the track. And another opportunity still brewing up between the 69 machine and the 8 machine there, James, as they're making their way into, as I said, into the final sector and into the final couple of turns. Giving a good lead, isn't it, there from Mr. Ma leading.
Yeah,
right at the moment, almost by a second.
Yeah, he's got a 1 second gap at the moment. Eric Dong, and contact! Oh, that was bad contact there as well. And that was Eric Dong and Eric Chu. We can have a look back and see what these guys got up to going down into the chicane. But he is running side by side at the moment as well with Eric Chu. Let's have a look back. As you can see them coming down now into this tricky chicane section. Was it Eric Chu? It wasn't. Eric Dong sent it, and unfortunately careered into the side of Eric Chu, and that put him there as well off track. And then obviously this rejoin coming back once more, just manages to make it, keeps it on track, does stay a little bit more on the racing line than I probably would have liked there. But here we will be back to live pictures momentarily, and we will buckle up and carry on the racing with Eric Chu and Jason Dong, with Rob Dong behind them, battling away here as well. JB Alcabar has got Jake Hanlon, Giles Ho, Stubbs Hillo all behind him currently at the moment, and then the newcomer of Jake Wishmeyer is battling it out with Michael Gilbert. He's just gone up the inside of Gilbert currly at the moment of round turn 5 before they go on that run round to 6 there. An unfortunate incident there, Biggles, as well. Looked like he dived for a gap that wasn't really there.
Yeah, and it's going to put him back a little bit now. That's going to give a huge amount of lead there for the 86 machine, and just be able to run away. I'm probably wondering, hang on, have I been disconnected from the session or something like that? Because there's nobody behind me now. As the start lap, almost getting into, it's lap 2. So massive advantage. Gives Tony a huge advantage, of course, now in P2. So we'll see how that pans out. That's for the Pro class.
Yeah, it looks like Cameron Fong had a little bit of a moment there as well in the BMW. Joe Flannery and Jason Dong still battling it out here as well for 5th and 6th place currently as they're running down Catalunya. And currently Jake Hanlon, I believe, is going on track still as well. He's going around the final corner. He's losing a lot of time currently at the moment. Is Jake Hanlon. He's lost a couple more positions. Is he going to lose one to Rail Tova down into turn 1? They're side by side. But I think he's got it, going to have it done here.
He's going to need a U-Haul. He's going to need a U-Haul to get that car if you push it too much off the road there, my friend. Yep, he's lost that one. There's Wait, what's he going to try? In-N-Out Burger. I love In-N-Out Burger, but don't tease me, my friend. He's coming back, but James, he's not over yet.
It was, yeah. Sorry, I flicked away just as Jake Hanlon made his move on the inside on that run round into turn 4. And he did get it done before we got into round 3, and he's now chasing down Mario Hinoges. I'm sorry if I've pronounced that name completely incorrect, but they are too wide, too deep currently at the moment here as well. And Jake Hanlon, contact with the 16, which is Mario. Well,
I wonder what happened there. If it's carried too much speed through there, or the car was just a little slow. Difficult one at that angle to capture there, James. But,
yeah, we'll try and have a look back on the heli and see if we can see what these guys got up to. As you can see, I think the door was open going into 5. I'm not sure if Jake just completely missed his braking point, mind you. And then he just makes contact with him. It looks like he got a little bit more contact or he missed his braking point in some shape or form, didn't he? And then he basically just runs straight into the back of him, which wasn't ideal, but there we go. We can't have that one either here. That's racing, and incidents do happen as we are back now once more to live pictures. Eric Chu still fighting it out, currently in 6th with Jason Dong, Rob Dong as well behind him there. And yeah, so we've got the two Dongs and Eric Chu fighting it out here, Biggles.
We just need Pete Tong, don't we?
Hey!
Let's all go on Pete Tong. Only you and I probably remember that one. Not many else. Let us know. Give us a thumbs up if you do. I've heard about the Pete Tong. I think we've mentioned that one before over the years, haven't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, look at that. So far so good. Look, I was going to say they're spread out at the moment, James. I know you don't have a track map currently at the moment, but just at the track map, just to give everybody an indication there. All into 1st and 2nd sector almost. So no opportunity just to jump in a pit road and do a double stop or something like that. We've got to wait for the pit stop window to open. So can't do any of those strategies if you have gone a little bit pearl-shaped to try to do that just yet. But a leader, my friend, a leader has got a huge gap, Mr. Marr. It's got a 6-second gap, as I said. He's sitting there wondering, hey, are we already in Valencia?
Yeah, you would have thought so.
We're still here in Barcelona.
You would have thought so. He's so far ahead at the moment. We've got Alex Shen, Eric Dong, Joe Flannery, Eric Chu, Jason Dong, Rob Dong. There's 3 Yuma, sorry, Tony's other half there as well. There is 3 Dongs in here, Eric, Jason and Rob, all with the same livery. So that's going to be interesting for me and Biggles as it goes on, to make sure that we've got the right Dongs, because there's nothing worse than calling them by their other names, of course, as well. So we will try and keep an eye on that. Alex Shen under attack from Eric Dong at the moment. Behind him here once more.
Oh, that's is that Showwater? Walter.
Yeah, Showwater there, I think, as well.
Yeah, that's the U-Haul machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, again. In the wars early, got the pace clearly, but got to be a little bit more gingerly on that brake pedal.
Flannery making a move. Is he going to be able to get it down into turn 1? He's going to have to try and run him around the outside. If he is, he isn't this time around. Is he going to tuck him behind him? And now he's got Eric Chu chasing him down as well. So an interesting one going on here at the same time as we jump on board with Eric Chu chasing down Joe Flannery. And let's see how he gets on there as well. Flannery's gone off. Yeah, Flannery run wide, didn't he? And that's not going to help him on that run down into turn 5. He lost the place to Eric Chu and Jason Dong. Alex Shen here currently at the moment. A bit of a cork in the bottle here, Biggles, I think, by the looks of it.
Alex Sue, sorry?
Alex Shen.
Alex Shen? Yeah, well, I mean, cork in the bottle would be in the DRS train, really. That's what I used to say from Formula 1, but Mr. Flannery before, because he is in the AM class. So, whoa, a corner, and that was Mr. Dong, isn't it, Eric?
Eric?
Getting too greedy out of the corner there, and bang, the car just hard impact into the wall.
Yeah, JB Alcabar's looking at trying to make the move as well. There's going to be a slight little bit of rubbing and leaning on that one as well. And let's see what happened back with Eric Dong as he comes around that corner. See if we can get a better view here as well on the heli. Runs a little bit wide, gets a slide on into the wall, nose first. And unfortunately for Eric Dong, it is done and dusted. He's going to have damage from that one as well. As you can see, JB then sneaking up the inside of him currently at the moment here as well. So a lot of action early on. And
that's the loud pedal.
Yeah.
A bit too loud. And about to be overtaken, I think, at the moment down the main straight, yep, by the BMW. Goes slots on through and just get up behind as well, too, isn't that?
That is Charles Ho, yeah, Charles Ho behind him.
Yeah, I think there is a little difference in those liveries, of course, the cage ones. You have to look for it, James. I mean, it might be something to do with like mirrors or something like that being a different color. We need like a T-cam different color or something like that they have in Formula One, so we can determine who's who. Plus, the timing table on the left-hand side is going to tell you.
Yeah, well, there's Jason. He's got, what's he got? Red and blue. And Rob's got the same. And Eric's got the same. So, yeah, I don't think they actually done anything different here. Eric Shen has just lost the place to Jason Dong currently. So Jason has gone through. Human there, you never want to mix up your dongs. Yeah, you don't want to do that because that could cause you a great
late dive.
Yeah,
very late dive, wasn't that from Flannery?
Yeah, but then he lost the place in the meantime, so he didn't only he dived late, didn't he? But
he's from the half send team, isn't he? And that's you need a fully send, my friend, not a half send like that.
Yeah, you need to send it and get it stopped, mate. That's what you've got to do currently here, and he didn't get it stopped at the moment. There's a few gaps appearing throughout the racetrack, as you can see on the left-hand side there as well. Under orange, under red, they are under half a second, like Rob is currently, with Eric behind. If they're over that and they're orange, they are over the half a second window. So that's what we're looking at currently at the moment. And it's all going off here. 48 minutes. We've been going 12 minutes already here, Biggles. Well, yeah, it's been a lot of action already in the first 12 minutes.
You'd expect that from the first race day, James, because, you know, they're all eager to get going at the start of the season. You want to prove to your teams, and to your team bosses, of course, and to your friends, family, you know, wives out there, of course, are watching. What have you been doing in your off season of the practice?
Well, there we go. Rob is trying to go around the outside of Joe Flannery into turn 5. That's not going to work for you there, young sir. Yeah, you don't want to be going around the outside. It's never going to work on that one. And we've got Charles Ho here as well, battling it out with... He's got another dong. Wherever I click, there's a dong involved. Rob, Charles, and Jason, and they're all battling around here as well. So it's getting very, very interesting once more.
I thought that they were all in the same chat, but they're not. There's a lot of drivers, actually, believe it or not, in the Discord chat, all chatting together as they're driving. We know that is sometimes a little bit chaotic, but they'd like to do it. Some will be muted, some won't. James, yes?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of sitting in chat with everybody. I've got a bad enough job trying to keep the car on the track, let alone having people talking to me in my ear roll. So I wouldn't be sat in that chat either. I would be probably on my lonesome, on my own, because I can't concentrate when people are talking around me.
That's what the dogs are doing, my friend, at the moment. They're communicating to each other, saying, okay, well, all right, you overtake now, I'll overtake now. That way we get all of us on the cameras all the time with James. No, they're not. There's only one, I believe, in the chat at the moment. That's Eric in a separate VC. But down the main straight away, again into turn 1, overtaking opportunities. And here we go. So Charles?
Yeah, Charles Ho made it move. He's up into 11th place now. JB Alcabal driving around on his own. Rob is not, though. He's still chasing down Joe Flannery. We have got our leader, Sego Mar. He's out in front by 7.9 seconds with Tony Rodriguez, a 2.6 second gap to Eric Chu here. And I got a funny feeling that's a back marker involved on that one. I think that could be Cameron Fong or Joe Drain, I think it is, behind these guys. Juan Namak looks like he might have just had a moment as well, and he has had a moment. He's there behind the trees, spinning the car up. Let's have a quick look and see what happened to Juan. Was this all on his own, or was this with Matt O'Dore? Juan in the Audi.
But again, too, after that, James, just can't get the car at the temperature. Let's have a look.
Oh, he locks up. Then he goes on to that outside, misses Matt, and just about holds it. Hold your brakes. Good job.
Temperatures are cooked on that, because then a little bit later on, he has a semi-spin. He's having another spin too, James, unfortunately, if you go back to the live pictures.
I literally just went on him.
Yeah, he's. I think at this point he can't go onto pit road yet because it's not open. He's just got to cool down, calm down a little bit, pull off to the side there, just ease the gas pedal, and cool those tires down because they're cooked. And when your tires are cooked, mate, you're like driving on ice.
Yeah, Jake Hanlon there as well is fighting it out with Jake Wishmeyer. Currently at the moment, that's the 74 car. That's Chris Nammock in front of us. It makes a complete, which looks like a complete hash of the chicane, unfortunately, there for Chris. And we got Jake Hanlon and Jake Wishmeyer battling it out here as well. This is for 12th, 13th and 14th place. Running down into turn one. Is Hanlon going to make that move now? Is he going to make the move like the U-Haul he is? And he's trying to do it, not really committed to that one, Biggles. He looked like he backed out just a little bit. Chris has made another mistake here as well, currently at the moment. And Chris Nammock's under attack in that Lamborghini from Jake and also Jake Wishmeyer. So the two Jakes chasing down Chris here. And there's going to be contact. Wishmeyer's going to slip it up the inside, and he does going to get it done over Hanlon. Oh, nearly.
And yeah, just behind the teammates, as you can see the rainbow-coloured colours. They went off as well too. So his teammate, go back to that one, James, because this battle's still brewing quite nicely. I was about to say perhaps the rainbow-coloured cars could work together, but they ain't going to work because one of them's just backed off now.
Oh, Hanlon's over the gravel as well.
He's struggling, isn't he, with the... I can just see, as soon as he touches that gas pedal, the rear end just goes loosey-goosey on him.
It doesn't look like he's got any real grip back there either. So it's been a bit of a tough one. Matt O'Dort here with Mario Hinoges chasing down. I think that's...
and he spins too, coming out of the hairpin.
He's locking in. Yeah, he's just got... Can he get through here? It's going to be a tough one for Matt O'Dore, I think. Struggling in that car. Eric Chu is not so much struggling. He's now caught up here as well. That's Tony Rodriguez in front of him. So Eric Chu is absolutely pulled out chunks out of him currently at the moment. He pulled out that 2.6 second gap that he did have last time out. 46.087 for Tony, a 44.905 for Eric. So almost just over 1.5 seconds quicker on one lap as well. Jason Dong's got the fastest lap on a race on a 144.882 here. But Tony's under pressure from Eric at the moment here. Do you think can Tony be able to hold on?
He's going to try his best, that's for sure. It's easier said than done. If he keeps it planted within the racing line, he's going to be under massive attack here. But he's got to stick to the middle of the track there, make it very, very difficult for you to go around. You can see the exit speed, there's contact.
Tony's round.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's Tony's fault. Tony was just sticking to the racing line, wasn't he? And you can see that it looks like...
Oh, Tony!
And the driver's slowed down as well, too. I think Mr. Eric has actually slowed down to kind of let Tony come back and take that position. The problem is he's dropping all these other positions while he's waiting for Tony to come back. Doing the right thing, a polite gentleman thing, but until Tony can come back, because Tony's had a spin... Eric's just dropping all the way down to P9 currently moment, and there it is. So he's going to resume back up right behind once again, very gentlemanly to do that. But the problem is they've cost them both a ton of places during that.
Yeah, Eric Chu did give the position back to Tony, but they're both down in 9th and 10th now. Great that they've done it. They have gone into the pit lane here as well. I thought the pit window, is there no pit restrictions?
Maybe it's
not. No, the pit
actually.
window is open. So apparently, yeah, there's no restrictions by the looks of it on pit window time.
Oh, okay, because I was just reading through some of the documentation they sent us. It just says pit window open, I guess. Oh, pit window's open in general. Okay, thank you. I get that one, James. So scrap what I said earlier about having to wait for the pit window to be open. You come in anytime you want. But then again, you got to have enough fuel take it to the end with 40 minutes to go. That's going to be a stretch.
No, definitely will be, but let's see. But yeah, so that's going to be an exciting one here as well. One of the other things we have Are they going to do that or not? I'm interested to see, because there was something in the rules about sprint rounds. They were looking at doing qualifying 8 minutes, race 20 minutes, qualifying 8 and race 20. There's nothing labelled against the rounds that are actually, if they are going to be considering that one. So we'll have to keep an eye out and see if that's actually a consideration and whether or not they are actually going to be doing this. Unsafe track re-entry, says Yuno. Yeah, well, you can go and have a go at him, Yuno. He's your other half. You go and dig at him and get your slipper off and give him a slipper around the ear roll or something, because you know what I mean? Go slipper him around the ear roll and say, oi, watch your re-entries as well. But he did have a spin, so let's give him a bit of a break. You know what I mean? You don't want to be doing that, do you? So there we go. But back to the racing, 40 minutes to go here. A few people have been into the pits already. Tony, Eric and Eric Dong.
Eric got a drive-through too, James.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. ET's been appearing right next to his name. So that may be because of the incident between Tony, but I don't know quite sure why you get a drive-through. That it must be speeding the pit lane, because they just came in and out. Yeah, because he did the right thing. He slowed down, dropped all those positions to give it back to Tony, so it wouldn't be issue a drive-through for that. That's got to be a speed in the pit road.
Yeah.
That's going to be double whammy, isn't it, Mr. Eric?
Yeah, not only did he give the place back, he also went and speeded in the pit lane, so that's not ideal. Alex Shen is still this cork in the bottle here at the moment, 7.2 seconds. Sego Mar still out in front by 10.8 with Alex Shen behind him. So it's all going off here as well, and these guys are absolutely flying along, but not as much as the Sharknado of Sego Mar in that McLaren out in front, absolutely dominating this race by 11 seconds. He's already flown on to Valencia. We don't really need to carry on, but he's absolutely flying here currently at the moment as well. So yeah, definitely interesting to see how these guys have been doing, but Sego Mar clearly over that off period here, Biggles, has been practicing like a rocket.
Well, I did tell you there, James, that historically the driver that gets it on pole tends to win the race here. As we do have a local yellow out there for the 188 machine that's going around, and that's Mr. Mendoza.
Yeah, Jaime Mendoza taking a trip off here. He's coming down into turn 1. He's in that Aston Martin. Surely he's curbed it. Curbed it, back end up into the air.
Oh.
And into the wall. Never good when you curb a car like that. It's just never going to work out for you too well. And it didn't work out for him there either. So, yeah, definitely not an ideal scenario. But it happens, and yeah, as we can see him again go off the side of the track there, Jaime Mendoza. Round in turn 5 currently. Joe Flannery now, he's going to have a go at Alex Shen. Alex has got them lining up behind him. He's getting one, they're dropping off, getting another, they're dropping off, and now the next one's coming in, and this one's going to be Flannery having a go here as well. So Joe Flannery trying to get a hold of Alex Shen for that 3rd place. Is he going to be able to make it through? Time will tell here, Biggles.
And some of the drivers are making their pit stops at the moment too. Here 11P12 currently at the moment as they're lapping some of the traffic. As you can see, really, net leader at this race was Tony Rodriguez, but we know after that moment that's definitely cost him some time. So we'll see when Mr. Mar is going to be looking at Sergio Mar there. It's just comfortable to make a pit stop. Will some of the other drivers behind him, that's a little bit further down the road, elect to copy his strategy? They elect to do something else. Not halfway through the race yet, as it's nice and 9:20 in the morning local time for the track.
9:20 in the morning, eh?
In the morning.
This is giving the residents of Catalonia a nice big wake up there, yes, as well. Charles Ho is now going
far away from some of the houses, but I think most of them. But
I think that's the good thing about some of these. When I went to Barcelona, I went to the Barcelona football ground. Now, that's kind of in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's got its own area. You know, it's not squashed into a city like it was when I went up to the Tottenham one in last weekend, I think it was. That's all squashed into a main city, but in a very built-up area. Where, oh, who was that? Joe Drain? It was Joe Drain. What have you been up to? I want to have a look at that re-entry as well, because that didn't look good. So what does he do here? Because he looks like he goes round, and then it looks like he has a, he hits the grass, goes round, and then watch this re-entry he did. Oh.
Yeah. There's a lot of gaggle of cars coming through there at the same time, too. They're all racing.
He needed to be careful there, did old Joe Drain, I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit of a dodgy one.
It's a little bit tricky because we're having drivers now that are getting blue flags. So, got to be careful. Looks like our race leader is in. Yep, it is. Our race leader's in.
Yeah, Segomar is in. Jason Dong is coming round now towards the end. He's coming over the line now. He's going to retake the lead. Rail Tova has just had a moment as well. He's just gone round. We just saw the back end of that. Charles Ho has gone past. Whether or not Charles made a contact with him, only time will tell, and I'm sure we'll hear all about it. Chris Wong there currently down in 13th place. We've got Matt O'Dore coming out of the pits here as well. So he's rejoining down in 20th with this 26-car grid. All been a bit chaotic, I'm not going to lie, currently at the moment here, Biggles. As I said, it's that kind of new driver, old guard battle kind of commencing here.
You're exactly right, James. Just having a look, I'm just well, you got that. I'm just keeping an eye on where our race leader is going to peel back in. He's going to lose a couple of positions. Should be able to come out behind the 214. That is a lapped car. That'll give us an indication. So I think he's going to squeeze out. Yeah, Segomar there will come back out in P7. And that should be in the net lead of this race, no problems of everybody else. Oh, look at the gaggle of cars around you. You've got 12 cars around him currently at the moment. You have to make a pit stop. Oh, you would go to Bridgestone or Michelin? No.
Once more.
Christopher Wong is struggling big time. Just went off the track a little bit. Currently running a P13, James, under massive pressure there. For the P14, takes out one of the styrofoam things too, James. So lots of action happening absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, Rail Tova taking out the styrofoam barriers. Arthur Chu battling it out with Michael Gilbert. There's a full absolute battles throughout the field at the moment. We're trying to keep on track of all of it, and there's a lot to be contending with here as we jump inside the car with Arthur Chu to looking at Michael Gilbert. Round it goes round the left-hander of turn 5 on that run down into turn 6 now. Round turn 6 we go, aim through 7 and 8. Oh, he gets...
Yeah. Got to be very, very careful to on the final exit, because it just looks like Mr. Joe Drain has beached it again out of the final corner. Struggling big time with 214, so that's going to be a little bit... You can see on board right now that you're racing 5th. That's the battle for P6.
Yeah, Joe Drain does look like he's in a bit of a struggle at the moment. Arthur Chu, Michael Gilbert, Joe Flannery is also looking like he's just had a moment here as well for Joe Flannery, but he is still up and running, so I'm not quite sure why that flashed up here. Where has he actually gone? Oh, he's in the pit. Joe Flannery. Sorry, I found him. He's in the pits. So Jake Wishmeyer again battling out with Rail Tova for 13th place currently at the moment. Rail Tova and Wishmeyer. Wishmeyer's trying to go up the inside. No gaps given there, Biggles. He's got to be a brave man to try and send it through on that one.
You could try it. Not recommended. A few more drivers in the pit road at the moment. So the 808 machine there. And Mr. Arthur and Mr. Lee are also entering into pit road. Arthur Chow and Rich Lee. So they're electing to box to probably come back out and resume the battle. They were pretty close together before that pit stop. The one mandatory pit stop required. Take 2 if you want.
Yeah, Wishmeyer.
Take 2. Some of those early pit stops that some of those drivers took, James. You don't know about that one yet.
Half an hour here to go. And it's Wishmeyer now with Chris Wong in that Mercedes. Of course, the famous car of Tony Rodriguez here for 2 seasons before he's changed over to the BMW. Wishmeyer trying to make it through on the left-hand side. Is he going to be able to get past him currently at the moment as well? These guys running side by side down into turn 1. Is Wishmeyer going to make it through? He does make it through. And through he goes over Chris Wong. And that is Jake Wishmeyer now up into 11th place. A lot of swapping about going on the timing tower at the moment. My timing tower is having a bit of a moment, I think, as well, because I've had people going up and down like absolute yo-yos and then returning back into the same place there. So it's a little bit, I'm hoping it's software based, but yeah, the car's going up and down all over the place.
It's because of the pit stops there, James. I think it's sorting itself out. A couple more drivers coming in. Unfortunately for Joe, currently running the 808. He was essentially probably, you'd have to say, one of the leaders of the AM class. He's got a stop-go penalty for 30 seconds. That's going to be painful for him. Could possibly lose the AM class. And on top of it, the 886 machine, and Mr. Wong, he's got a drive-through penalty too. So a couple of naughty boys in the pit road.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful there. They're going to have to be careful. They're clearly being naughty on pit lane entry or off tracks or obviously what generally it is within ACC, of course. So you never know how it's going to work out when you're on track. Mario Hinojes, after his poor start, is now sitting in 4th place. But again, he's not pitted either. Neither has Jason Dong, who is in 1st. Also hasn't pitted. JB Alcabar behind him, also not pitted either, as JB in the Free Puppies. Free puppies and free candy. Well, Matt O'Dore and JB going for it this season with their liveries here as well. So it's always great to see the first round with their liveries and seeing what they've come up with and seeing what sort of styles we've got. And it does look like they've got free puppies and free candy. So there we go. Michael Gilbert coming out the pit lane here. He will come back out in 11th place currently at the moment. And Eric Chu is recovering now. He's trying to get past Rich Lee, who's in 17th. Eric, of course, having that incident with Tony Rodriguez. And
he's got to get past too.
Yeah.
He got the fastest lap before. He was doing 44s. Everybody else is in the 45s. He was definitely the quickest. He's super fast. But the problem is he's got to get past here. It's not going to be easy.
But he has managed it down into turn 1. He's swept round the outside. And Eric Chu now up into 15th. Going to chase down Arthur Chu. So we've got 2 Chus and 3 Dongs. And together you've got Chu Dong. But Sego Ma has recovered the lead after he went in for that early stop, mate, hasn't he? He's gone out, back out. He's back out in 1st place here.
Yeah, I knew that. He had such a commanding lead. Don't think it's going to be a problem for anybody. It's whether or not, what do you think about Alex here, Shin? Alex Shin's going to be going down the main straightaway now. Now he is still, should be in that net P2, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, P3, Jason Dong's pitted in front of him.
P3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, Jason Dong did, yep.
So he's in that net P3 position currently at the moment. He's with Rob Dong behind him here in 4th place. So this should be all settling out. The only 2, Mario Hinojes and Chris Namak, I'm expecting them to go down behind Charles Ho I would have thought, after their pit stops. Eric Dong and Michael Gilbert still fighting out for 10th and 11th place currently here with 26 minutes remaining of this epic opening round so far.
Just under halfway to go, so that's how quick it is, and those pit stops are done and dusted for the majority of those drivers. Speaking of the devil, there goes Alexis in. Drop him down quite a bit, but we'll see how far that's going to make it up from the start of the race.
Oh, Jake Hanlon and Arthur Chu down here in 13th and 14th. Getting very close together, 12th and 13th, and Eric Chu, is behind. Sorry, that is Arthur in front and Jake behind. And then there's a BMW, I think that's a back marker actually behind us here as well, so that guy's going to have to be careful. Tony Rodriguez trying to make moves now on JB. Rodriguez, of course, in that brightly yellow and red. JB has decided that he didn't want to go through the chicane. He is going to cut it instead. And Tony goes up the inside there, and Tony Rodriguez is now back up into 5th place here as well. Mistake by JB, that allowed Tony through, Biggles.
It did. Make a mistake like that, it's very easy to do on this basically Formula 1 test track, of course. And that's why they have it, because this track has a bit of everything. That's why it makes a great test track, and it also makes a great track for everybody to be running for the first race of the season, so you get an idea how these cars and how the drivers are going to handle the rest of the tracks.
Yeah, let's see how we get on this season, of course. Michael Gilbert now chasing down Eric Dong. Is Gilbert going to be able to make the move into turn 1? He sends it. No, he didn't. He thought about sending it and then backed out of it. And Michael Gilbert not making it through, losing a couple of tenths there. He's now 7 tenths back at the moment. JB has lost nearly half a second to Tony Rodriguez already. Joe Flannery is trying to come back through the field as well. But Joe Flannery, I believe, he was the one that got the stop and hold, wasn't he?
Yes, I believe. Chris Wong has a stop-go penalty for 30 seconds as well, too. I think there's some off-track excursions happening, because Eric Dong, I just saw before, the defend against that turn 1 was right off that track. So I'm not sure, I'm not a driver, but how much of the off-track excursions that you could actually possibly get to have all 4 wheels outside that white line for your track limits, surely that's got to give you some sort of warning.
Yeah, well, if they had ACC DRIVE there, Biggles, they would be able to, I'm sure they would be able to know that. So you can go and check that out down in the links down in the description below as well. There is a referral link as well. That would be amazing if you can use that for the Sunday Drive Racing League. That would be absolutely incredible here as well. But Joe Flannery trying to fight his way back past Mario Hinojo's, I think that's how you say your name. I can't really think how else you would say it there, Biggles. Hinojos?
Yes? You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking, probably.
Biggles butcher of names?
Yeah, Biggles butcher of names. I'm asking probably the wrong person, but there we go. I thought I'd let you have a try at it, just in case you come up with anything different to me, but I think Hinojo's is the move. JB Alcabar still fighting out now. He's closed the gap back up to Tony by 2 tenths. These guys both in the BMW. You can tell him, man, that I'm not happy. He's changed from the Mercedes, and we haven't got the McDonald's livery. Where else I can't get me breakfast from somewhere else, can I?
I'll get it for you, James.
Oh, yes.
It's like 2 minutes away from where I am now.
Oh, it's still only down the road for me, but...
Mr. Flannery. Oh, he spun, James. Oh, the 808 machine. He's got to wait for some cars. He's the man leading AM class. Right up at the top end of the show, of the race. Now it's just dropping down, like, you've got a phrase for
it's
dropping.
Contact with him and Mario Hinojo's. Hinojo's come over on him and shut the door on him, and that unfortunately put him where he is currently at the moment. So not an ideal maneuver from Hinojo's. I don't know if he just didn't know that Joe was going to be there or what the situation was. But unfortunately...
Joe would know.
Yeah, Joe would know, but obviously Joe, unfortunately, is out. Stub Hillo, Joe Flannery and Cameron Fong, they're the ones who we've got registering without a pit stop at the moment. Chris Namak is another one. We're coming into that 20-minute mark here as well. JB trying to put off Tony there. JB moving all over the track.
It's pretty deep into that race, isn't it? Oh, to go that far, we've had a pit stop.
Yeah, but they normally have the pit window open between 20 minutes. Got 40 minutes remaining and 20 minutes remaining, and they've got to take their pit stop between that time. But they seem to have been more of an open pit stop window now, so you can go in whenever you like. Whether or not,
yeah, exactly.
That will give us different strategies. Of course, if you make a mistake, you're allowed to go into the pits and get your repairs done and whatever else that fancy jazz you get done at the same time.
It can take candy from the Mr. Rodriguez baby car up the road there, because it does say to candy car. The candy man can, perhaps. Well, I don't know, it just looks like there's candy cars everywhere, isn't it? But there it is. So Tony Rodriguez is going to hold off the candy man of JP Alcobar. I'm running out of puns, James. You can help me out on this one. 20 minutes to go on this race.
I've got nothing for JB. I've got nothing on that one, Biggles. I'm not being rude. Probably the only time I don't have something to go with somebody, but I have got nothing on JB Alcobar at the moment. Let me see how I get on.
You've seen Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, right? Charlie Chocolate Factory. The Candyman can.
Yeah, the Candyman can.
I love this section of the track, of course, to get it approaching into the final couple of corners, and then bang, here it is. On the loud paddle. And see if we can make it run, get it right out of the final corner there. Down the main straightaway.
Now
Thinking about turn one.
That's an interesting question from Waitwatt. How late can Namak serve his mandatory pit stop? Now, the question is if the pit lane is open continuously, he can serve it on the last lap. In hindsight, if he thinks he's going to be able to get there on tyre changes, and the tyres are holding up, then Chris Namak, I suppose, in a way, because it's an open pit lane from the very beginning, can serve it on the last lap. If he's got the tyres and the tyres are holding up for him, there's no reason he can't, right? Or am I looking at that the wrong way?
Your telemetry is a little bit wrong. I mean, different than what I'm having, James, because I'm showing he's already made his pit stop.
I haven't got him down. Chris
has made his pit stop. The only person I'm showing that hasn't made the pit stop is Mr. Cameron Fong down in 23rd place. But everybody else that I'm showing, then again, I'm using a free, not so great software version. So who knows? But
no, I've got him as he hasn't at the moment.
I'm pretty sure they've done their pit stops, but pretty sure Chris has. Just confirm anybody if they're aware of that. If you're any.
The problem is he's pretty high up on the table to think he's gained 11 places to think that he has made his pit stop. I've got him up 11 currently at the moment, so I'm very surprised if he has made his stop. I don't remember seeing him going in currently either. So unless Chris Namak has made his stop, but it's not picking up on the screen if he has.
Showing a few more drivers, aren't you?
Yeah, I've also got Stubbs Hillo, Joe Flannery.
Yeah, I think they've made their pit stops as well. It's over about the overtake, actually. Speaking of which, is Mr. Hillo.
Yeah, he's gone past Enoja's here. So I've got them as well.
He's got a drive-through too. He must have just got served on that one. I've seen him have a drive-through penalty before. Now he has one.
JB still finding out with Tony at the moment. Here in 4th and 5th place currently. If Chris has made his pit stop, then he's been flying along, but he's doing lap times nearly 2 seconds to 1 to 2 seconds slower than Eric Chu, who's the fastest man on track at the moment. He's in 13th, doing 1:44.657s. And he's doing lap times 2 seconds slower. So I am a little bit of a debate that Chris has actually been in. I've got
Jason Dong's just gone in, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, so Dong's in.
To me, it showed that he's already been in the pit road before, so this is the second stop, wasn't he? But wasn't Jason one of the ones that took one of those early pit stops at the start of the race?
I believe so. JB and Tony still scrapping it out as well. Everybody else is a little bit more spread out, as you can see on the left-hand side. They're all white at the moment, apart from Arthur Chu and Michael Gilbert.
Well, this is getting spicy. These two are at it again, aren't they?
Yeah, JB and Tony. If JB's going to make a move, he's got to be making it move down into turn 1 if he can. Is he going to be looking for that inside?
You want a free puppy there, Tony? You want a free puppy? He's got one on this side of the car.
JB trying to run.
Tony's going to park it in the middle here and make it very difficult for him to go around the outside.
Oh, he's having a go. He's just got to send it in late on the exit of 1 into 2. JB does go through. He makes this mistake. That's going to bring Tony back into 3, but Tony does get done by JB Alcabar there. JB just took it up the inside, ran it around the outside of 2, and sweeps across the nose of Tony, and it was job done for JB. It is now on Tony to come back. Arthur Chu and Michael Gilbert have swapped positions. Chu now up into 10th place, while Michael Gilbert is in 11th. They're swapping backwards and forwards here, so they must be running side by side, or have been at one point, because they were swapping backwards and forwards there as well. So it's all getting very spicy towards the end of the race. We've got 15 minutes remaining here. And yeah, getting very exciting, young sir. But not for your leader, who's out in front by 22.5 seconds.
That battle's not over yet.
What, for the lead?
Absolutely
or
No. The other drivers you've seen, the two battles between 4th and 5th, as well as the battle between 10th and 11th. Guarantee those are going to continue as long as they keep up with each other. As RG says, moving on up, Chris N. Well, still waiting to see whether or not Chris is to make a pit stop or not, according to telemetry software.
I'm still showing that he hasn't made one. So unless, as I say, he's up 11 positions, he's doing lap times slower than people behind him. Last lap time for Chris was a 1:47.055. Eric Chu did a 1:45.35. So I don't know if he has been in, just purely off the lap base times that he has shown.
Carl spun just ahead if out of the final corner. I think that's Mr. Wong.
Yeah, Chris Wong in the Mercedes. So Chris Wong in the Mercedes there has spun the car. Chris Namak, Eric Dong, Arthur Chu, Michael Gilbert, Jake Hanlon battling it out further down.
Yeah. Got to give it to Joe. Joe's just, for the McLaren Racing, the car, like the 214, Joe Drain is just having a nightmare of a race. But I'll give it to him at least for trying his absolute best. He's having it, even put the camera, he's had another little moment too, James, off the track, but he's getting out of the way of drivers. He just realizes, okay, you know, I'm just not, this car's not agree. He's got a stop-go penalty and stuff like that. He's going to essentially be plump last. But it's the first race of the season. One of those tracks, not having the best of days.
Oh, Eric Dong's off.
What's happened there? Yeah.
Eric Dong is off here. What does Eric Dong do? Oh, we've seen this. Too many pedals, I think. He's over the curb here. Well over the curb, mind you. Oh, dearie me.
It looked like he was going, I'm carrying too much speed. I was going to hit the back of him. I thought it was a little bit too far back from that one. And then that's a snap of a decision you don't want to be making out of a corner, is it? Because a high-speed corner like that, you got to be pointing to the right. You can't even think about turning it to the left. Easier said than done for me, sitting up here in the broadcast box, never driven a lap around this track in these cars, or even in the simulator. So you can pick on me out there, drivers, if I don't know what I'm doing. Eric's now just really pulling those tires down, I think, more than anything. Actually, no, there was another driver who just passed.
Yeah, Tony Rodriguez
yeah.
Losing time to JB.
Back marker, but in the way there.
Yeah.
In the way, back marker's completely out of the way. Respecting the James's blue flags. You don't want to talk to James about those blue flags. No,
because you will be in trouble. That was Ray Altova as well, as they've just got past Ray Altova there. Yeah, let's not get me on a blue flag rant already. We can't do that in the first race of the season. Everybody's moving out the way at the moment, so that's great for them. blue flaggers in the back, and nobody's fighting it out here. So it's great to see that they're all respecting blue flags currently at the moment here as well. Eric Chu is trying to come back through the field. He's chasing down Jake Hanlon from the U-Haul team. I'm not quite sure if that's how you say it or I've just made it up in my head.
U-Haul.
U-Haul. U-Haul.
U-Haul.
Okay, is that how it goes, is it?
Oh, there's ads. I haven't seen those ads in a long time. I haven't been in the States.
U-Haul.
Oh, they probably have an ad like that, no doubt.
Yeah, maybe. That would be, to be fair, that would be a good slogan to have. Eric is closing in onto Jake currently at the moment. Tony come off the better of their two make contact earlier on, of course. But Eric did move over to allow, well, waited for Tony, but did have to go all the way back down into 10th or 11th, I think it was currently at that point. And now he's in 12th place. Fastest man on the track on a 1:44.882. Fastest man on the circuit currently as well on a 1:45.917. Now, actually, he's closely followed by Rich Lee, who's on a 1:45.840. So that's the battles for the fastest lap time currently, and Eric Chu is holding it on his 1:44. And it looks like Jake Hanlon just got that chicane all wrong now. And Eric Chu is going to be making a move down into turn one. Is he going to get it through? He's pulled out on the right-hand side. He's going to have to sweep round the outside of two if he's going to get this job done. Down they go now into the braking zone on the brakes. Jake goes in a little bit later. He's going to get swept across now. Is he going to come across to take his nose? He leaves him room, but still gets the position done there for Eric Chu. That is how you overtake in turn one. Absolutely incredible overtake there from Eric Chu. Got the job done, and he is through and done there, Biggles.
Oh, Jake, you got to commit with that one, mate. You know, Lifton, you got to go side by side through there. You got to do a Max and Lewis through Cops a couple of years ago at Silverstone. That's what you have to do. Risk it for the biscuit. And just on that one, Mr. Fong, running in P22 at the 888 machine, just took the pit stop. So who's the last on my screen to say, yeah, taking a pit stop? And he got a stop-go penalty for that one too, James. But according to the telemetry I have, he's the last one that needed to take a pit stop, so we're still confirming that one.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're showing up on my screen. I've still got a couple that haven't. I've still got Chris. Maybe Chris has, and he's just had an excellent run out of the field. Currently at the moment, making it up places round the people in and around him. Obviously, if they've made mistakes, like
they did make mistakes, remember?
Eric Chu and Tony Rodriguez. But yeah, I'm not sure on that one what's happened on that software there as well. Maybe it's just not picked them up properly here, but we can only but presume they may have done if they haven't already. Chris is not going in, so it's looking like he possibly could have done. Rodriguez is now on the back of JB Alcabar for the last 8 minutes here. JB's going to have to put some laps in and a half to keep the red and yellow machine of Rodriguez behind him. Both men in the BMW. Spinning out he's got on the side of his car this season. Go Chris, says Kim. Any points for the fastest lap? I don't believe that there is, if I'm not mistaken. I've got a funny feeling I'm not mistaken, because I don't think we've ever done points for fastest laps.
Sorry, repeat that, sorry, James.
Points for fastest lap. I don't remember there ever being points for fastest laps.
Just reading through some of it. Teams up to 3 drivers, classifications, pros and AMs. Best result in either driver classification counts towards team points. Worst points in the season drop from the driver overall results. Open car choice within the team. We've got the teams and the rest of it. Exactly. But I don't see anything specifically about that one, James.
No, I can't see anything either in the rules. I'm trying to look through the rules and regs as well here. These rules and regs seem a little bit shorter. I think a fast lap should always be rewarded
for some points, right, James? Because, you know, it could be spicy in a championship to steal the fastest lap, even though you haven't got chances of taking a race. Who knows?
Yeah.
We do know that Tony Rodriguez's battle is not over yet. He wants it back there from JB's not going to allow that too easy. If 6 minutes and change to go, a couple of local yellows. still.
And they must have really cut the rules and regs down this season as well, because I can't seem to find anything regarding point systems. Have I gone blind here, or am I just still gone Pete Tong up in the booth? Presume they're running on the same point system they were last time. Maybe I'm losing me marbles, I don't know. But I'm having a good old look there as well.
Losing them?
They used to. I think they do give 1 point for fastest lap. It's rental U-Haul. Jake didn't get the insurance. He can't
he's
commit.
going for it. Who's that in the background as well? Too?
That's Showwater.
Yeah, it is. He's caught the party. So there's going to be a nice three-way battle here for the battle for currently P4. Dying stages of this race, James. 5 minutes and change to go. This is going to keep your eyes peeled on this one. This could go pearl shape. And don't forget, you're looking at Mr. Jack at the moment. Oh, not Jack, Mr. Nick, sorry. Nick is in a good position. I'd sit back at the moment here for the U-Haul machine and just see what happens up the road, because he can collect the 2-for-1 special, no problems if they do tangle. Or if they make a mistake, yeah, just zooming on by, James. I've seen that before.
Yeah, definitely on that one as well. No, Yuma, don't disturb him. And he's in the fight with JB and Nick here. Let him be. I'm hunting frantically for the new rules and regs. But I
looking for Easter eggs.
Yeah, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack here currently at the moment. Because points for fastest lap are now available. So they are now available. And that was issued on the 12th of June. So being that we were on the off-season on that one, so they are now available. 1 point will be awarded for the fastest lap of the race. 1 drop will be allowed for the season. Each driver will drop their worst result. So they do get 1 point for the fastest lap. So
that means that'll go to Eric Cho at the moment.
Yeah, Eric Cho on a 1:45.250. So
I don't think anybody's going to beat that, my friend, because he did that early, and that was a blisteringly quick lap. Everybody else is in the 45s at the moment. Unless you're going to see something like Sergio Ma just make a little last-ditch, like Max Verstappen. He's got enough time for a pit stop, so he can't jump in and out there and get some fresh boots on. But does he want to take the whole trifecta, my friend? Take the pole, take the race win, and take the fastest lap? You never know. He's comfortably on a nice 20-second lead.
Yeah, he hasn't really been threatened at all, has he? He literally got out in front and just kind of dominated at the moment. That free candy BMW looks so much bigger than the in and out BMW practically. I wonder if that's the perception you're given because of the livery colour. The white makes it stand out more.
It does look bigger. You're absolutely right. I thought I was the only one that was looking at that. It looks bigger.
But is that the colour scheme?
It? Yeah, it's amazing how, we all know like the illusions of colours and stuff like that. That makes things bigger and smaller and stuff like. You've seen all those pictures, haven't you? You look at two objects and you go, which is bigger, that one or that one? Just because the way it's perceived on paper and stuff. It's the same thing. Looking at that, the pictures to me on the screen look like they are. It's a bit from a distance. I think it looks a bit bigger. When they're up close, they are the same cars, of course. So it should be identical. They do kind of make that Ferrari in the background look a bit smaller, flatter.
Yeah, they have definitely there as well. As you see, Nick Showwater also battling out with JB. 2:20 on the clock currently at the moment. Where is Sego Ma? He's gone across the line, so there's going to be one more here. Sego Ma over the line. And there's going to be 2 laps remaining. That's all these guys are going to have to fight it out. So they are going to be battling away here with Sega Maru, who's dominated this event. I'm not going to lie, as these guys come down into 14 and 15 through the chicane.
Fong's been showing the black flag too, been disqualified from the race, so they should still hopefully give Mr. Joe Drain there a place, considering Joe's once again just been all over the place. A good on him, but for committing to a race, you never know what's going to happen. Getting some practice in, no doubt. This is it, as you said there, James. So this is the battle. Any opportunity now? Who wants to P4? It's up for grabs. Just reach out and grab it.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Sego Ma. He's just going over round by turn 9, coming down into turn 10 currently at the moment. So Sego is basically looking like he's going to take this victory in race 1. I can safely say Alex Shen should be in second as long as he keeps it on track. And the same for Rob Dong at the moment as well. So that should be your 1, 2, 3 here. As these guys are coming down now. Where is Sego Ma? He's on his way across the line. Will be taking the final lap of this race. So Sego Ma does go on to the final lap after dominating from green flag to checkered here, basically, Biggles.
Yeah, just missed out the fastest lap, but you can still be happy with a pole position race result. The points are added up on your race day, and this is it.
Yeah, they definitely are. Matt O'Dore, my internet dropped out, so that could explain why Matt O'Dore just miraculously disappeared from the session there. JB still finding out with Tony here as well as they're coming around to start their final lap of the race. Tony and JB, where is Sego? Sego is on his way out of turn 5 currently at the moment before he's going into the left-hander. There is I believe that's 20th place behind in front of it. Oh.
Now they go both back off there, and this is exactly what I was telling you about, isn't it? With the likes of Nick, because Nick now, just being at the right place at the right time, can scoot on by.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Sego Ma as he is coming over the line, as this is what happened here with JB and Tony. Going into turn 1, JB goes in too hot, hits Tony round, and Nick Showalter says, thank you very much. So there we go.
Second time as well, too, that Tony's been...
Tony's been in the wars, yeah. But here comes Sego Ma to take the opening round of the Sunday Drive Racing GT3 Season 3. Through he goes, your winner, Sego Ma, with Alex Shen coming over in second place in the BMW. So an incredible victory for Sego Ma, absolutely dominated it from start to finish. Incredible race here, and Alex Shen over the line he goes. Rob Dong will be your third place man. Rob going over the line there. And Nick Showalter will come over the line after that as well. Consistent lap times, the pro drivers are faster. Yeah, they definitely are. That's the difference here. Tony does finish the line, over the line with JB behind. And then the newcomer, Jake Wishmeyer, opening debut in 7th place. And Showalter's debut puts him in 4th. So not a bad opening round for some of these drivers here, Biggles.
Yeah, who let the flares off? I thought they were banned inside the circuit. Who's letting flares off there, James?
Well, let him have some fun. That's what I say. Chris Lammock that clearly has pitted. Joe Flannery as well, and Stubbs Hillo. Obviously, they did pit. So, obviously, my software just didn't pick up the fact that they have pitted there as well. Everybody else coming over the line. We're just waiting for Rich Lee, who's just finished. Charles Ho will be the last one, I believe, to finish off. I think actually we still got Chris Wong on track as Charles goes on the final corner off the side of the circuit. And here is Chris Wong. He's going to go through and finish off here as well. And that will be the end of this race currently at the moment. All done and dusted there, Biggles. And it was a good opening round, wasn't it, to be fair? Not a bad opening round at all.
It was. It did a very good first couple of laps as well, too. Very clean racing. Very good close qualifying. and a sign of things to come here at the Bar. But good sportsmanship as well. 2 drivers come together. Of course, they've had to lift off a little bit. Had cost a couple of those drivers some positions, but there's a result for you there, James.
Yeah, Sego Ma is your winner with Alex Shen and Rob Don. Nick Showalter in 4th. Tony Rodriguez is not there. Am I mistaken?
Has removed them.
Yeah.
Even from my timing as well too, James.
Maybe he's left
I'm only seeing 18 drivers overall now.
Maybe he's left the session and that's why he's not showing up, but it was Nick Showalter, Tony Rodriguez, JB Alcabar, Jake Wishmeyer in 7th, Eric Chu 8th, Chris Namak 9th, Arthur Chu in 10th, Michael Gilbert 11th, Eric Dong 12th, Jake Hanlon in 13th, Rich Lee 14th, Charles Ho 15th, Marion Hinojas 16th, Joe Flannery 17th, Ray Altova, Stubbs Hillo, Christopher Wong in 20th, Jaime Mendoza, Juan Namak and Cameron Fong there. We lost Matt O'Dore, and I believe we also lost Joe Drain, who was disqualified, I believe, at the end of the race. Matt O'Dore's internet dropped out. Fong and Drain both DQ'd at the end there as well. But it was JB in Sego Ma taking that victory here this evening. So yeah, definitely an interesting race there. Nice to see such a full grid. It was. We had 27 cars at one point, and that's going to be, hopefully we'll be able to keep that going for the season. That would be nice as well. I do want to have a chat. Tony's not in voice chat either, so let's see if we can have a chat with Sego Ma. Whether or not Sego will come and talk to me right at the beginning here as well. Let's see. And we're welcoming Sego Ma into the booth. Good evening, Sego. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm not bad, mate. That was a nice Sunday drive along the track at Barcelona, wasn't it?
Yeah, first win in the series, I think.
Ever?
So far, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it took
I'm pretty sure it is as well.
2 seasons.
Yeah, for
to figure out how to pit and add fuel and then drive.
Yeah, you absolutely led from the green flag to the checkered flag there, buddy, as well. Have you been practicing in the off season?
Yeah, a little bit, making sure I have a good car. That's like the number one thing, have a good setup. And my teammate helped me out in the beginning to get some pressure off me so I could spread the gap. And once I had a gap, I just was just making sure not to screw up.
Yeah, that's the best thing as well going forward, though. What do you think of your chances, Sega, in the championship? Do you think you've got the chance of winning it?
If I could keep up this pace, hoping for winning at least podium, yeah.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you, Sega, for joining me. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Shout out to my teammate Eric for blocking in the beginning so I could get away.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you, Sego, for joining us, and we look forward to having a chat with you as the season goes on there, buddy.
All right, you too.
Take care. All right, let's pop him down into that one, and let's have a chat with, where is he? I'm trying to find someone. Who can I find? Where you gone?
Grab him by the scruff of the
I
neck.
am grabbing him by the scruff of the neck here as well. They're not coming into the waiting room, so I've gone and got them. And I've just gone and got Jake Wishmeyer here as well, a debutant for this season, opening up his race with a 7th place here. Jake, that's not a bad opening start to the season at all.
No, not a bad start at all. I was really struggling with the tires, but I was happy to, after the spin, try to pull it back as best as I could.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it, haven't you? An opening race, you know, everybody's out there. You're new into the series. What was it like racing against these guys? Obviously, is this your first time racing against them?
No, I got into the season finale last race at Kailami, and I was very lucky to get the setup right, and ended up getting a top 10 there, or just I think maybe 10th. But I'm just trying to trying to get into those point scoring positions. I love dicing with these guys, and they're insanely fast, and I'm just happy to be able to be keeping up.
So what's the season for you ahead then? Is it just for you to come into the season, see how you get on, get quicker as the season goes on, do you think? Do you think you'll be fighting for wins by the time we get sort of round 4, round 5?
I think my goal right now is top 5s, and I was expecting to maybe get 11th, 10th here, and I'm hoping that maybe I can turn it into a podium or 2. We'll see. I mean, a win, I'd take it.
Yeah, definitely there as well. Well, Jack, thanks so much for joining us. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
My compatriot, Stubbs Elo, he was trying his hardest. The qualifying messed us up with the tire temperatures, and it ended up ruining his setup a little bit. But, you know, we're going to come back and get a double points finish soon.
Yeah, well, good luck on that one there, sir, as well. But thank you so much for joining us, Jack, and we look forward to chatting to you as the season goes on.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah, James, he finished, his teammate finished in P19, and they are the Circuit Spirit. You can't miss them, of course, because of the rainbow-coloured livery.
Yeah, definitely on that one. Well, Biggles, not a bad opening round at all, and one that we can look forward to as we're going into Valencia in 2 weeks' time, of course.
I love that track. Love it, love it, love it. Street circuit. Really? So, walls take no prisoners, my friend. You can't have this massive runoff area that you're going to have here in Circuit de Barcelona. So, definitely looking forward to it. And the chat has been fantastic as well, too, tonight, James.
Yeah, it is.
Today.
Big shout out to Wait What, Yuma, RG, Eggs as well. Thank you so much for coming in. Kim earlier on as well. Much love to you and Nick as they're coming in, and Joseph and Alex. So there we go. All of you, big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. That's going to wrap us up this evening here on the JPB YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bells, give you thumbs up where you can. That would be absolutely amazing. But for now, I think from myself and Mr. Dean Biggles here, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.